So we're going to be talking about how you can use Sparklines chart. So before we start, we'll tell us details about Sparkline chart. So when it comes to Sparklines are tiny charts placed within a single cells in an Excel worksheet. They are designed to show trends, patterns, or in a data series concisely. Trends, patterns in a data series concisely without axes, titles, and legends. Usage purpose. Contextual trends provide immediate visual context for a row or column of a data, allowing for a quick analysis for trends alongside the actual numbers. For example, showing a stock performance trends next to its current price. Compact visualization ideal for dashboard or reports where space is limited for visual insight are needed. Quick comparison easily compare trends across multiple rows or columns at a glance. Types of sparkline. We have line, shows trends over time or across other categories. Columns represent individual data points as miniature columns, useful for comparing values within a small set. Win and loss display positive wins or negative losses. Values useful for binary outcomes or profits loss scenarios. Tips Spark lines are best for showing simple trends, not for detailed data analysis. They are linked to their source data and update automatically. So let's work on Sparkline. So let us create a Sparkline using this data. So Sparkline, then we select the area we want to put the Sparkline, then we go to Insert, then we pick either of any of the Sparkline, either column, win loss, or line. So we just want to use line first. Then we select the data range. So the data range is from January to December. Then we press OK. Then we drag down. So we drag down. So we've created a spark line. We can as well create other ones like let's create other ones like win loss. So let's do win loss too. So you can see how Windows is. And meanwhile, you can change it. You can change the kind of sparkline you want to use. You can change the color here. You can change which type of sparkline you want to use. Maybe you want to use color or you want to use line. You can change it from here. So that's that about sparkline. So so let's start by customizing our chart. How do you customize your chart? How do you add title? How do you add labels? And how do you add legends and many others? So let's do that. So you come to this plus sign or you go to design. You can either go to this plus sign or you go to design. If you want to go to this ribbon, then you pick any of this. So you go to add chart elements, then you add the elements you want to add. So for now, let's use the plus sign. So for now, I want to change the title, then I'll go to this and said sales monthly trend, sales monthly trend. Then what again do I want to do? Then I don't need anything here. The vertical, yeah, I need to add more things. So since I've had title, then I need to add axis label. So I'll have to input my axis label, and here we have, for axis label we have sales, and here we have months. So what again do we want to add? Then we want to add legend. For those who want to add legend, because we don't need legend, so you can also add data, the data table, by going to clicking this data table. So it will show you everything about the data. So you can add the data label, you can add the data label to your charts. If you want it to, if you want it to make sense very well, you can add a data label. You can customize how you want the data label to be, that you want it at the bottom, at the right, above, and many others. So you can add error bars. So you can add the error bars, you can add trend line, either you want it to, you can pick either you want linear trend line, exponential, linear forecast. So you can add moving average, you can also add moving average, and you can add as many as possible. So you can add up and down bars. So let's do trend line, a bit of this trend line, linear trend lines. You can also add grid line, you can add grid line. So we've been able to format our chart. So we've been able to format our chart properly. Meanwhile, you can also select the color that you want, the color coding that you want. So for people that wants to change the color coding, you can change your color coding here. So if you don't want the way your color coding is, you can change the color coding here. So if you want it to be like this, you can change it. Just come to the color here and change the kind of color, the choice of color you want to use. Also, you can come here also to do some adjustment towards your chart. Also, changing color. Also, you can switch to row. So you can do so many things. You can switch to rows. You can switch to rows. So what again can you do with this? So you can do some quick formatting here and do some quick formatting here the way you want it to be. So we have some quick layouts that you can actually make use of. And furthermore, you can come here to add some other more spices to your chart. So let's do for others too. Let's make sure we do for others. So others here, just the same way we actually have our stuff, then you can customize this. You can just say for these, you can say total sales, segment sales. You can just say segment sales. Then you can add the title axis. If you want to add title axis, you can add title axis. And you can delete the field button. All this sum of sales, all this, you can actually delete the field button. It's not needed. So you can add the title axis, which this also will be sales, or just say sum of sales, and this is segments. And so you can do the same thing with all this. You can see how clean my data is. So basically I don't need legend. Then what I need to do is just remove legend and grid bar. So I don't need the two. If you have need for that, you can actually make use of it. So let's do same thing to this. Good. For this, you can see here's my legend because I need legend here. So because it is showing consumer, corporate, and office home office. So basically, I don't need to show home office here. I just sometimes you can actually use legend and you can decide not to use legend. You can decide to use only call out data if you wanted to just call out data. So you don't want it to have other things, you can actually make it to just call out data. So to me, I prefer the way it is now. Then I need to remove the legend. For some people, they will need legend. For me, I don't think I need it. So then you remove the field button that is here to make your chart to look nice. So here is the chart. Then you change this to segment sales. Segment sales. So here is how your chart looks like. And you can do as many as possible editing as regards to your chart. If you want it to be in the same background color, you don't want this color to be there, you can go to your format. Then for outline, you remove outline. And for shape, you add no fill. You can see how it is. There's no fill. Then you can see how it is. You can see that now we don't have the, so the chart is looking more nice, more decent and more nice. So if you want to reduce it, you can as well come here to reduce the chart, or just use it like this. And just come to this corner, then reduce the size. Same thing did for others, you did for same thing you did here, you can do it for others. So you can see how nice my chart is. So that's going to be all about charts.